It's short circuit time, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a care package delivered to me at my home from Nubia Technologies, and this is the RedMagic 5G. Now, I have to confess that I wasn't real convinced on the whole gaming phone concept right out of the gate, but when we did a recent video over on the Linus Tech Tips channel, checking out their previous phone compared to kind of like bolting this weird janky cooler to a more conventional phone, their cooling system kind of won me over. I'm not gonna start with the phone because I had some complaints last time that I didn't do a good enough unboxing. So here's the unboxing. There's a power doodad that's not compatible with my North American outlet. There's a cable that is compatible with my North American USB port. And there's some documentation that I'm sure will be absolutely riveting. Game time, anytime. It's done, it's over. That's the end of it. This is the RedMagic 5G, and unlike some of their previous devices, it is on time. That's not to say they haven't launched them when they said they were going to, it's just that I'm accustomed to seeing a longer window for a flagship Snapdragon processor in between showing up in a Samsung phone, for example, and then a more specialized niche device like a RedMagic gaming phone. And that's exactly what's inside this thing. So the specs are freaking nuts. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 processor, anywhere from 8 to 16 gigs of RAM, depending on which storage version that you go with. It's got a 64 megapixel main shooter along with two others, so it's got an ultra wide as well as a macro lens, although that one's only 2 megapixels, so we're gonna have to try that out in a bit. There's a flash back there as well. We've got their dock connector down here. We've got a notification button, so you can actually decide if you want to go into do not disturb mode with that guy right there. This is the goods. This is what I was so impressed with last time around. So here is the venting for their active cooling solution. And then over here, we've got the lock button, volume rocker, as well as shoulder buttons. So these are actually pulled at 300 hertz, so that's 300 times per second, and they are pressure sensitive for gamers, for when you're gaming. On the bottom, we've got a speaker grill, a SIM tray, as well as USB Type-C with fast charging. Apparently it'll do, I think it's 56% after 15 minutes or something along those lines. And of course, a headphone jack at the top. Overall, I think I actually like the look of this thing. Like, yeah, it's kind of gamery. It's got like this X logo on the back and stuff. The 5G logo, this is a 5G device, by the way. The RedMagic word mark and this little powered by Nubia here are oriented in landscape mode. You know, when you're holding it like this, like for gaming, for gamers. Of course, this one is oriented in portrait, so if you were to decide, you know, oh, once in a while to make a phone call to your grandmother or whatever, then, well, it'd be covered with your hand anyway. Oh, that's curious. During setup, it prompted me to touch the sensor on the back of the phone to register my fingerprint, but wait. Oh, I think they just derped on their setup wizard. Oh, okay, no, it has an underscreen fingerprint scanner, so let's go ahead and get that registered. It's a little on the low side. I'd probably get used to it. After being dumped on the home screen, the first thing I notice about this phone is it's got a high refresh rate display. So it's running at, oh, look at that. You've got a little indicator next to the time up there. It's running at 90 hertz right now, but it actually goes all the way up to 144 hertz. It actually pulls the touch layer at 240 hertz. So it's taking inputs 240 times per second to make sure that if your touch and the display itself don't quite line up, it's more likely to get the most recent touch information by the time the panel refreshes. Let's go ahead and turn it up to 144 hertz, see how that feels. Wow, that is really ugly, that scrolling. I am not a fan of that. 144 hertz, esports level refresh rate, silky smooth screen picture. Yeah, that's gonna increase power consumption. Hopefully, the 4,500 milliamp hour battery is gonna mostly take care of, wow. Oh, that is absolutely sick. Okay, hello? Okay, we're definitely getting a little bit of odd software behavior so far on this one. Maybe I'll just give it ye olde reboot. After rebooting, I'm prompted to go through this separate game space, handheld gaming experience thing. So this is dropping me in their like gaming control center. All right, just a second here. How do I get out of this now? Please swipe again. I am swiping again. Please disable the compute button to exit. Okay, here we go. So I was totally wrong. This is not a do not disturb button at all. It is the compete button. You activate it and it launches their GameSpace game launcher. It probably also turns off your notifications, so maybe I wasn't technically wrong calling it a do not disturb button. And then what happens is when you unlock your phone, depending on what position that toggles in, either launches their GameSpace game launcher and then, yes, the RGB lighting effects on the RedMagic logo. And look at that. It also kicks the fan into high gear. OLED plus high refresh rate. It's just like the holy grail of great display experiences. I wish I could get into the Play Store though. Well, that was weird. Nothing I did fixed it until I reformatted the phone and boom, it is working completely fine now. You know what, actually, I'd be curious to see if the launcher switcher is working better now too. Please use it during games. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I understand what it means. So you swipe in to bring up the overlay. So you can toggle the fan on and off. You can change the refresh rate of the display in here. Oh, that's so smooth. Okay, this toggle is working perfectly now too. I don't know what happened last time. That splash screen is super annoying. I hope there's a way to turn that off. Now I want to play around with the camera a little bit. My expectations are not super high. Oof. Okay, the colors are a little on the unnatural side. Maybe that's something that we can tweak. Oh, we could turn off Intelligent Beauty. Maybe that'll help. Nope, still pretty bad. All right then. It's supposed to be bright pink. But then the actual touchpad itself, it's like I can see it changing it in the viewfinder. And why would they have the shot on RedMagic 5G on by default? Nobody wants your watermark on their pictures, you guys. Like turns it white for some reason. I don't know what it's doing. See, it's overdone now. I really don't know if this quarantine beard is suiting me too well. Turned off the beauty on the second shot there. That's, oh, it's a lot better. Now it's not trying to smooth my facial hair. That's good. All right, let's get some games for gamers. Okay, what's going? It was working. I'm gonna reformat it again then, I guess. Hey, we're back. So we got Asphalt 9, PUBG Mobile, Raid Shadow Legends, and a comfort snack. Now I have one theory, and it's that a Google Apps account, so that's a paid Google account, might not cooperate well with their launcher and Play Store or whatever for some reason. So I'm using my personal Gmail. Hey, look at that, it picked up my games just like that. Not the meme games, just PUBG and Asphalt 9, but hey, that's all right. Now let's switch back and see if it, nope, still broken. Okay, well, so much for that theory. No idea, but I've got my games installed, so I'm gonna just try one. Let's see how the speakers are. Dang, not bad. And a very even stereo effect from them too, even though it's using an amplified earpiece speaker and then a much larger side-firing grill over on the other side here. That name is already taken? Who takes this name? All right, here we go. I wanna know what this 4D shock feels like. Click the edge, pull to zoom. What? Okay, so I think what it's doing is it's putting haptic feedback through the screen when you touch the areas where the game controls are. Okay, I'm pretty sure I felt that. Yeah, okay, when you fire, there's little vibrations in the screen. That's kind of cool. I had only intended to play Raid Shadow Legends just because it's such a meme right now. But hey, I guess we're gonna have to do that because Asphalt's not working and I want just at least one more game that I can play here. I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the screen. It doesn't have the same nearly zero bezel experience that you might find on like a flagship, more consumer-focused device. But I am out here outside and it's not under direct sunlight or anything, but this is very, very usable. How's my cooling fan doing then? Yeah, that's on. Wow, that's really going now that I'm in a game. That actually moves a lot more air than I would have expected. The phone is just like cool to the touch though. It is a bit of a chilly day, but it's like not even noticeably warm. That is sick. First impressions then. High refresh rate 144 Hz display. I'm super impressed with that. Love the speakers. It's got a ton of like gamer-oriented features with the cooling system really being on the top of my list. But it's pretty obvious to me that by the time this thing actually launches, I am recording this prior to launch, that they are going to have to work out some of the little software kinks, like the fact that I can't open up the Play Store on it for whatever reason. As for the camera, well, it's about what you would expect for a gaming phone. It's functional, which is a lot more than you could have said about these types of devices even just a few short years ago, but it's obviously not going to be as good as a flagship device from someone like a Samsung or an Apple. And hopefully you were expecting that. Just like you were expecting this video to end now with your subscription to this channel. Like, look at that. Look at that acid green grass. Do you like it? That's not what that grass looks like. You guys can see that grass doesn't look like that. Wow, that is so over the top. The top is like here and it's like way over there.